Hello, everyone, and welcome to Candidly Cantrice. Thank you for stopping by for another episode. My name is Darnika Gordon, and today we will be talking about parenting. Parenting for me has always been challenging, especially adding on a new kid. I have three children. They are 18, 14, and 9. So there is a pretty good gap in their age differences, but that's never really been a problem. My oldest child, who is a young lady, she has always been my good child. She's very polite, she's very caring, she's very helpful. As she's gotten older, she has become very hard headed. I have a son who is very mature, the 14-year-old. He's goal oriented, he has plans. A lot of times I don't have to worry about him with, taking care of things, making sure his clothes are washed, getting up on time for school, completing schoolwork, but his behavior is a little off. And then my youngest child, who is also a girl, she is very good, very smart, very helpful, very caring, but she's a little bossy. So everybody has their own personality. And dealing with that can bring challenges on top of the basic necessities that you are to provide for a child when parenting. As many of you know, if you've watched my first video, I am a teen parent. I had my first child when I was 17 years old. So that brought its own set of challenges. I was a child presented with adult responsibilities. I lived with my mom. And so, trying to be a parent and a child is conflict in itself. Trying to share those responsibilities with their dad was conflict in itself. So there was a lot of challenges, and I had to grow up really fast. I had become responsible for a completely separate person, and I had to, be mindful of her well being, keeping her protected, making sure she was fed, clothed, all of those things, taking her to doctor's appointments and different things of that nature. So that was a whole new scene for me. Obviously, going from worrying about myself to worrying about this small, delicate person. And working and going to school at the same time to provide for her were some of the challenges that I dealt with in my teenage years. Adding a second child when I was 20 added its own, because now you're responsible for two people. And you're growing, you're learning yourself. So from 17 to 20, I became an adult. So I have my own place now. That's its own set of responsibilities, making you pay your bills on time, making you have heat for the children, water for the children, that they have clothes, that they have food to eat. And so parenting has always been a very challenging thing. I think the least challenging child was my third child, who I had in wedlock. I was married. They all had the same father, who I started dating when I was 15, which I talked about in my first video. And we got married in 2009. And so having the both of us there to parent through the process made the process much easier of going through pregnancy, of going through birth, having the baby, us taking turns with her up at night. I didn't have those experience with my first child. It was very minimal. With my second child, it was a little bit more because I had my own place. But with the third child, we lived together and we took care of the kids together. So that was my least challenging child. But there are still so many challenges that I deal with, because I realize as I talk to my 18-year-old daughter, who tells me things that she remembers from her childhood. And I'm like, please don't hold me accountable for any of that stuff. I was 17, 18, 19 years old. I was still learning myself. I was still learning the world, trying to get used to that, as well as simultaneously being a parent. I feel is a very challenging thing. I see people who seem not to have those same challenges, but I don't know if it's because they're able to wear it well or because they actually don't have those challenges. But um, recently, with my son who is 14, he doesn't look 14, he looks 16 or 17. He's very tall, he's very handsome. And so he just started high school this year. And so obviously, girls are the wave. So I'm always having to remind him girls will be here, focus on your education, don't get caught up. All of those different things, all of that stuff will be there. I encourage my children to wait until marriage, until they have sex, because we all know a lot of things comes with having sex. It's never just sex itself. So I try to share that with them. I try to be very open with my children, provide as much information about anything that I know with them, whether if it's finance, their health, living on their own, the responsibilities of being an adult, different things of that nature. I always try to make sure I inform them of anything that I know so that they're well as prepared as they can be. And when people say it takes a village to raise a child, it really does, because children can pull from anyone's experiences, or their advice, and different things of that nature. So if you have a support system, God bless you. If you don't, leave comments down below. Let me know. We can all band together to try to provide advice or whatever it is that you may need support with. I know when my children were younger, I couldn't do a lot of things because I always needed a babysitter, and I only trusted a handful of people. And so when they weren't available, I just wasn't going anywhere. So, but this is my peak time to be out, going places, doing things with friends, but I couldn't because I was a parent. And so that was a very challenging time as well. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. I wasn't saved then. So like for your 21st birthday, going out was a big thing. And it was a big thing for me too. But my son's birthday is 10 days before mine. And so I had him when I was 20, but 10 days later I turned 21. My body was in no condition to go out or do anything or party or anything of that nature. And so here I am having children, not being able to really enjoy life just alone, solo. Also, so back to my son with a girl. So I'm always trying to tell him, he thinks he knows everything. It's just like, what am I supposed to do with this kid? And then you have other children who are going through whatever situation they're going through. My daughter's in 3rd grade. It's like she's in high school. The issues that she comes home and tells me about is like, this type of stuff is for teenagers. And then my oldest is wanting to pursue art, which I completely agree with because she's amazing. Her talent is incredible. But she's like, I'm going to take a break for a couple years and I'm like, wait, what? A break from what? Like, after school, you need to be finding employment or something of that nature. So it's always something with these children, and living paycheck to paycheck, which will be coming out soon. I talk about the challenges with that. It's hard as well because you want to provide for your children. You want to make sure that they have what they need, but on top of that, they have things that they want. So that's always been something heavy on me that I've always been working towards, trying to make sure that I have money saved for them for school, that I have money saved for them when they turn 18, just different things of that nature that they could use to try to set them up where I wasn't set up, so they can be past the start line versus all the way back 50 feet before the start line. Because it's hard starting from back there just to get to the start line to run the race. And I don't want them to have to deal with that. I want them to have a little bit of a head start in life when they do actually become adults. And so challenges upon challenges upon challenges. I'm just always trying to make sure that they understand the relationship with God. If they have questions to talk to me, let's look at the word. So it's just a lot. And being at an age now where I feel like I have a lot to offer them, there's already so much that I provided for them that wasn't necessarily great, or that wasn't necessarily beneficial, or I might not have provided them anything during those first couple years of their lives. And so I feel like I'm running a race that I'm losing tremendously. And I'm trying to play catch up, and I'm trying to feed them everything that I know, and I'm trying to, give them scenarios of this and scenarios of that. And I know they're going to pick and choose what they listen to, what they decide to abide by. And that's why I am so thankful that I have God, because I can cast all of my cares on Him and let Him know, Lord, you made me, you made these children, you know what's going on with them. Because some days I'm just like, I just don't know. But having God as my source always brings the peace that I need when feel like I'm out of control. So I give them right to Him. Your child is acting crazy. Your child is misbehaving. I'm not sure what else to do. So when I give that to Him, I can take a deep breath and know that He is on my side. He cares for us. He knows what's going on. He already knew what was going to be going on. And I can just give that all to Him and try not to worry. Because I was worrying myself crazy about my son, and like him wanting to be outside, obviously because he's a black male. Cops don't, they're not going to stop and say, oh, you're 14. Oh, okay. No, they're going to think he's older. They're going to treat him. I don't want him to have to deal with any of that. So him being outside with friends, I want him to make great decisions if you feel like something's off, so there's just so much. But anyway, so I just want to provide encouragement for anyone out there who is dealing with any challenges with being a parent. Stay encouraged, be in prayer, be in your word. Reach out to friends, reach out to people at church, let them know how you're feeling. Because there was a time when I was like, yeah, I'm sick of this whole parenting thing. And so that's a real thing. So reach out, talk to people, leave comments down below. We could share, provide encouragement, whatever need be. But I just wanted to stop by, share my experiences with you, provide encouragement. We are here for each other. So until next time, be sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell, like this video, and I'll talk to you next time.